What's up, guys? Neil Orfield here, taking a look at the Stokastic MLB DFS Lineup Generator for tonight's slate. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. If you haven't signed up for the Lineup Generator yet, if you use the link in my tweet or in the description of this video, if you're on YouTube, you can still get it for 50% off. Your first week is going to be just $4.48 for that first week using the link. Even after that, though, it's just going to be $8.95. Still a great deal for a tool that only gives you long-term profitable lineups. If you haven't noticed, we also have a great deal going on with Caesars Sportsbook. So sports betting is available in your state. Highly recommend taking advantage of it. This deal is going to expire in September. You bet $50, you're going to get $250 in bonus bets at Caesars. A fantastic deal. You need to be 21 plus to gamble in most states. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. But if Caesars is available to you, I highly recommend taking advantage of this deal. You're going to get $250 in bonus bets. Those are going to come in $50 increments. Check it out if you haven't already done so. Let's start here by taking a look at some DraftKings lineups. I'm going to do all stack types, all lineup types, not locking anybody. First lineup we have here is Cole Ragans and Zach Thompson as the pitchers. Let's take a look at them in the top pitchers tool. Ragans and Thompson. Ragans fourth on the board with a 13% chance of being a top two pitcher. And then Thompson, bottom half of the board, he's just 5,600. 6% chance of being a top two pitcher, though. 20% chance of being a top two value pitcher. We have a 5-man Astros stack here with no secondary stack. It's a 5-0 stack here with the Astros. Then we have Gunnar Henderson, Ronald Acuna, Nelson Velasquez, one-offs. All right, so looking at the Astros in the top stack tool, second on the board. They have an 8% chance of being the top stack. You can see they're pretty far behind Atlanta, top of the board in Coors as expected, but 8% chance for Houston to be the top stack as well. And this lineup fairly contrarian here. Not all the way on the contrarian end of the spectrum, but in the contrarian half of the board. Looks like a really nice lineup. We got some really low-owned bats on Houston, 2% owned Bregman, 3% owned Altuve. Looking really good here. So looks like a nice lineup. I like that one. Let's take a look at the next lineup. Now we've got a couple more Coors players here. We have Ragans once again, and then Alex Cobb as the second pitcher. Alex Cobb looks like he's seventh on the board with an 11% chance of being a top two pitcher. Now we've got a 5-man Rockies primary stack with 3 one-offs. We have Acuna once again, Henderson once again, and Kyle Tucker as the third one-off there with a Rockies stack here. So looking at the Rockies in the top stack tool. Also in Coors, by the way, not only the Braves in Coors. 4% chance of being the top stack for the Rockies against Charlie Morton. And they're relatively low owned. You can see most of the bats here fairly low owned. Hunter Goodman is up at 10% projected ownership, but everybody else fairly low ownership on the Rockies. And then, of course, you can pay up for the $7,000 Acuna, $5,400, Gunnar Henderson, $5,900, Kyle Tucker. So pretty expensive one-offs paired with this Rockies stack and cheap pitchers. All right, now I'm going to go through and just save 20 lineups, see what we end up with. All right, so after 20 lineups, wow, we have 90% Cole Ragans, 45% Ronald Acuna, 40% Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Michael Harris. That is too much Cole Ragans for my taste. Now, again, I'm nitpicking. Every single lineup you're going to get here individually is going to be a plus EV lineup. So you could run out this 20 lineup set and you'd be running out a set of 20 plus EV lineups. But from a risk management perspective, I don't think I want to risk having Cole Ragans in 18 out of my 20 lineups. I would probably go back and cut back on some of these Cole Ragans lineups, see if I can find some lineups that don't have him. He is very chalky, 37% projected ownership. Where do we have Ragans? Oh, yeah, he's fourth on the board, and he's just 6,000. So with a 13% chance of being a top two pitcher at 6,000, I understand why we're getting so much Cole Ragans. We do have him with a 28% chance of being a top two value pitcher. I just don't want to risk my whole night on Cole Ragans. There are enough other value pitchers here, as we saw Zach Thompson, Brandon Williamson. We've got a number of fine pitchers, Alex Cobb at 6,800. We've got enough cheap pitchers that I would want to spread it out a little bit more. So usually I'm okay eating a lot of chalk at pitcher, being pretty condensed at pitcher, but 90% is just a little bit too much for me. I would go back, discard a few of my Cole Reagan's lineups, and then go find just a few more that don't have him in there. Maybe get them down to like 70% or something, a little bit that I can stomach a little bit easier than 90% Cole Reagan. So that would be my approach. But otherwise, I'm very happy with the rest. All of my other players very spread out here. Reagan's the only one who, in my opinion, is going. I'm getting a little bit too much here, and that's just a matter of, it's kind of random. The first 20 lineups you get. So who knows how easy it'll be to get to find some other plus EV lineups that don't have Cole Reagan. I don't think it'll take long to find some others that don't have him. So I'd probably cut him down to about 70% and then be happy with what I get from there. All right, now I'm going to take a look at some FanDuel lineups as well. All stacks, all lineups, not locking anybody. Cole Reagan's, once again, the first pitcher we see on FanDuel, very 6,600 on FanDuel is very, very cheap. He is fourth on the board on FanDuel with a 6% chance of being the top pitcher. And in this first lineup, we have a 4-3 Braves Mariners stack with Anthony Santander as a one-off. Let's take a look at the Braves and the Mariners on FanDuel in the top stacks tool. Braves are going to be top of the board. They have a 28% chance of being the top stack. Mariners down the board a little ways here. Looks like they are 8th on the board with a 4% chance of being the top stack. Nice matchup with Ken Waldichuk there for Seattle. Overall, it's a chalky lineup, but not on the far end of the chalky spectrum. We do have low-owned Santander, Orlando Arcia at 8%. So some lower-owned components to the lineup. Looks like a good one overall. I'm going to save that one. Second lineup. Now we have Zach Thompson. So good. We at least have one lineup without Cole Reagan's on FanDuel. Zach Thompson at 5,900. Thompson is bottom half here in terms of top pitcher odds, 3% chance of being the top pitcher overall, but a 12% chance of being the top value pitcher. He allows you to pay up elsewhere. Our stacks, we have the Red Sox with 4-2-2. Red Sox with then two mans of the Giants and the Braves here. So looking at the top stacks tool. Red Sox fourth on the board, 6% chance of being the top stack. Atlanta has a 28% chance of being the top stack. They're top of the board. And then I believe it was the Giants. Yes, it was the Giants. Middle of the pack here, 3% chance of being the top stack, but they also have a 9% chance of being the top value stack here. So looks like a nice lineup here overall. Middle of the board in terms of chalkiness. Now I'm just going to go through and save 20 lineups, see what we end up with. So our final exposures after 20 lineups, we have 70% Cole Reagan, 65% Ozzy Albies, 55% Austin Riley, 45% Acuna. So again, I'm fairly happy with the spread of the bats. More affordable on FanDuel in general than DraftKings, although Acuna at 5.2, Olsen at 4.7K. They are fairly expensive, but Albies is very reasonably priced on FanDuel. Austin Riley, 4.3 seems fine as well. 70% Cole Reagan's, you expect a little bit lower ownership on the pitchers on FanDuel than on DraftKings. You're only playing one. I still think I'd probably be okay with. I'm more okay with 70% on FanDuel than on DraftKings, just because it's only 14 of my lineups. I do have some outs if Cole Reagan's gets blown up, so I'm probably okay with just eating that 70% Cole Reagan's on FanDuel. Probably okay overall with this exposure. Very condensed to the Braves. Let's see the stack exposure. Yeah, 80% Brave stacks, 25% Seattle, 20% Boston. It's fairly condensed to the Braves and Reagans. Probably okay with that though in a 20 lineup set. If I were doing 150, I would want to spread it out a lot more than this, but in 20 lineups, I don't mind being fairly condensed, willing to take on that risk a little bit more in 20 lineups. All right, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Sign up at Caesars using our link if you haven't already done so. And of course, if you haven't signed up for the lineup generator, we got another month or so of MLB where you can be taking advantage of it. I highly recommend checking it out now if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching.